Hurry. The caller hung up. Alex shook his head. Someone's about to have a fun evening, he muttered to himself. He packed the items into his bag, put on a raincoat, and cycled through the busy streets. It was 9 o'clock in the evening, and raining heavily, and his trousers and shoes were soon wet and filthy. Luckily, the delivery was still dry as he hurried towards the boutique hotel. When Alex arrived at room 1302, he knocked on the door, and it was opened quickly. Alex was about to say hello, but instead he was shocked into silence. The woman in front of him was none other than his girlfriend, Kathy. She was dressed in a white robe, with her long, wet hair draped over her shoulders. He could smell body wash and shampoo. She must have been fresh out of the shower. "Kathy, what are you doing here?" He stared at her in disbelief, feeling dazed. "Me? What about you? Why are you here?" she demanded. She looked guilty, like a trapped animal. Her mind raced as she tried to think of something else to say. But then another man, half naked, suddenly appeared behind Kathy, taking charge. "What's wrong, babe? Are the condoms here?" Alex immediately recognized him. It was Billy Wilde, another student from the university they all attended. He was always trying to pick up women. He'd had his eye on Alex's girlfriend for a while, but Alex never dreamed Kathy would actually go along with it. Billy smiled and put his arm around Kathy, stroking her shoulder, acting as if he owned her. Alex was angry and confused. "Hey, don't touch her like that, she's my girlfriend." Kathy stepped between the two men. "Stop." She looked directly at him. "Alex, we need to break up." "Are you kidding?" Alex stared at Kathy, his eyes wide. "We've been together for 2 years. And this is how I find out?" Kathy sighed. "Alex, I warned you this could happen. I gave you so many chances. You never have time for me. You spend all your time doing part-time jobs, trying to earn enough to survive. You even empty the bins at university. It's embarrassing being with the odd job guy. That isn't the life I want. I was too naive when we first met. I didn't think I deserved any better. But I do. I really do." "I only took those jobs so I could buy you nice things," mumbled Alex. It was true. He knew Kathy had more money than him, and he didn't want her to feel like she had to pay for everything. Kathy put her arms around Billy and said, "Billy is my boyfriend now. Don't contact me again. I've blocked you on all my social media accounts. I think that's for the best." Alex slowly turned away, in a daze. "Cool, whatever. I'll leave you to it." "Yeah, good idea," said Billy. "You're dripping water over the nice carpet. Be a good lad and piss off." When Alex left the hotel, it was raining even harder than before. All he could think about was Kathy with Billy, in the hotel, with the condoms. Alex seethed in silence. His phone vibrated in his pocket. The way his day was going, Alex wouldn't be surprised if it was even more bad news. He took the phone out and glanced at it. But when he saw the number, he stopped in his tracks. He opened the message. "It ends tonight." That was it, short and sweet. Alex knew exactly what it meant, and what he had to do. It was time to go and see his family. He had been dreading this day, as well as looking forward to it. He knew his life was about to change, in many different ways. Minutes later, a huge black limousine arrived, the back door opening automatically. He folded his bike and crammed it into the boot, before climbing into the back of the limousine. The divider screen was up, so he couldn't see the driver. "Hello?" said Alex to the blank screen. There was no reply. Typical of his family, keeping things mysterious for no reason. The drive took about 20 minutes before the limo pulled up at an enormous mansion house in Hampstead. Alex climbed out, looking up at the building where he'd spent some of his childhood. He didn't have many happy memories from that time. Just then, the front door opened, and Mark Stevens greeted him with a warm smile. Mark, a tall man in his 50s, was the family butler. Alex had always got along well with him. In a way, Mark had sometimes been more like a dad to him than his real father. Mark smiled. "Alex, I've been looking forward to seeing you again. Are you ready for this?" "I don't know if I'll ever be ready," said Alex truthfully. "I don't want to end up like any of them. The way they treat people is awful." Mark couldn't help agreeing. They're not the most warm-hearted of families, to say the least. Alex followed him inside the mansion. He hadn't stepped in there for 7 years, and it all looked foreign to him. What was worse, his stomach was gurgling like a beggar's. He hadn't eaten anything since breakfast. Are you all right, Alex? Mark observed. You look pale. It's just that I haven't eaten. Alex mumbled, embarrassed. I'll get you a sandwich, my boy. Mark looked at him kindly and then added, You've worked really hard, Alex. If your father doesn't acknowledge that, I may have to have words with him. So what do I do now? Alex asked. Your father is waiting for you in the study. Good luck. Mark winked and slipped away towards the kitchen. Alex felt a chill in his bones. His father had never been an easy man to talk to. He was always distant, always too absorbed by convention and business. Alex walked through the grand hall looking at the expensive furniture. This was a far cry from his modest student room. His beaten-up sneakers looked extremely out of place as they trudged on the Persian carpets. When Alex got to the study, his father Nicholas Ambrose stood stiffly in the middle of the room waiting for him. He got straight to the point. Alexander, boomed Nicholas, your poverty test has come to an end. The family has reviewed your performance and decided that you have met the conditions required to gain access to your share of the family fortune. Your trust fund will be unsealed and become available to you from midnight tonight. Alex was taken aback at his father's abrupt announcement. Hey Dad, nice to see you too. I'm fine, thanks for asking. Nicholas stared at Alex sternly. Alexander, if you were expecting some big, heartfelt speech, you came to the wrong place. No, I guess I shouldn't expect that. Not from a family that cast me out and treated me like a guinea pig for the last 7 years to see if I could make it out in the world on my own, Alex retorted. Tell me, Father, what would have happened if I hadn't survived by my own efforts? Then we wouldn't be having this conversation, Alexander, Nicholas replied, unemotionally. Alex's eyebrows shot up. His father was a real piece of work. So what now? I aced your weird poverty test, and after falling off the face of the earth for 7 years, you're now suddenly back in my life? Alex questioned. He could see that his father was getting impatient. Nicholas paced towards the window and gazed at the helicopter that was waiting for him on the mansion grounds. No contact was a key factor, Alex, as you can understand. The test wouldn't work otherwise, and I had the family fortune to maintain. Now we can move to phase 2. You'll get your money and can move back home. Next, you take the reins of the business. Alex almost laughed. I'm halfway through university, he said. I'm not just going to walk away from my education and friends. Nicholas chuckled. Don't be naive, Alex. You're an Ambrose. You don't belong with those people. You can't keep living like a common Joe Bloggs. Alex's mind began reeling. For 7 years he lived like he didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, doing odd jobs to get by. None of his friends knew he was rich, not even his best mates Ben, Carl, and Joe. Kathy definitely didn't, or she'd never have dumped him. But his father was right. Things were about to change. He couldn't become Alex Ambrose again and stay the same. Or could he? Well, I've managed fine without you all this time, Alex shot back. I'm going to finish my course and look out for my friends who looked out for me. Having money won't change any of that. Nicholas managed a small smile. Do what you must to get it out of your system. But after you've come to your senses, return home. Until then, try not to spend all of your money straight away. With that, Nicholas marched out of the room. No hug, not even a handshake. Alex didn't expect as much. That's who his father was. But it didn't have to be who Alex was to become. Walking out in the hallway, Alex found Mark Stevens waiting for him with a sandwich on a plate. Cheese and ham with a slice of tomato like you used to like, Mark smiled. How did it go? Alex tucked into the sandwich gratefully. Father hasn't changed a bit. No, admitted Mark. On the bright side, at least you can afford a better standard of living now. Alex nodded. What happens now? Does someone park a truck of money outside my room? Mark chuckled. Not quite. You'll need to go to Cavendish & Co., a private bank on Lombard Street. The family has banked with them for years, and your trust fund has been sealed there. Go first thing in the morning, and you'll be able to access your account. Finally, he pulled Alex aside and whispered urgently, Be careful, Alex. Things have got worse since you left to do this ridiculous test. Some of the family won't like that you're back and might try and take your fortune away. I'll do what I can to protect you, but you'll have to keep your eyes open. Don't trust anyone. Alex was shocked. What do you mean? Who? Mark shook his head. I can't say any more, but just know things are going to get a lot more difficult for you. Anyway, I'd better go. Go home, get some sleep, and try to enjoy your newfound wealth." And with that, Mark hurried away, back into the depths of the mansion. Alex was confused. What did Mark mean? Who in his family might try to sabotage him? Then Alex thought of all his university friends. He couldn't waltz back in there like a millionaire. He had to keep his newfound wealth a secret still. Even from Kathy, he thought to himself. Although, I'd love nothing more than to see her cheating face when she realizes she dumbed the richest guy in uni for that stupid asshole Billy. Alex woke up early the next morning and got the tube to London's financial district. The historic Lombard Street dated back to the Middle Ages and was home to some of the world's biggest banks. Alex strode down the street and went straight to Cavendish & Co., the oldest and most prestigious private bank in the country. Several luxury cars were parked around the bank. The people walking in and out wore suits that cost more than most normal yearly salaries. Everything about the place reeked of money. Except for Alex, in his hoodie, muddy jeans, and crumbling Converse trainers. Oblivious to all this, Alex strode to the door of the bank and pushed it open. The glass was tinted, so he didn't realize a young woman was coming out as he was marching in. The door slammed into her forehead, knocking her backwards. "Ow, bloody hell. What is wrong with you?" the long-haired woman yelled in pain and surprise. Alex quickly apologized. "Oh no, I'm so sorry. The glass is tinted, I couldn't see through. I thought this was the entrance, not the exit. Are you okay?" "What do you mean you couldn't see through? What am I, invisible?" She held a hand to her forehead and glared at him. The bank's assistant manager, Karen Matthews, hurried over. She checked on the woman first and then looked at Alex in disapproval. He didn't look like their usual type of customer. Wrong clothes, wrong face, wrong attitude. He didn't even look like he was worthy of being one of the office cleaners. Karen gave Alex a polite but forced smile. "Sir, can I be of assistance?" Alex nodded. "Oh, hello. I'm here to withdraw some money." Rose sneered at him. "You? This isn't a high-street cash machine, you know. This place makes Coots look like a kid's piggy bank." Karen continued smiling politely. "Do you have a Cavendish black card?" Alex was starting to doubt himself too. Nobody had said anything about a special black card. Was this another test? Mark, the family butler, had warned him to be careful. Karen kept pressuring him. "You need the black card to have an account. Do you have an account number? Any proof at all that you have money here?" Alex shook his head, getting worried. Maybe he shouldn't have come here, but he had to check. "No, I don't have any proof. I just thought it was all set up for me. Is there a form I need to fill out?" Rose's father, Daniel Brennan, walked over to his daughter, putting some documents into a folder. He hadn't noticed Alex. His eyes were fixed on his daughter. He barked at Rose. "Come on, what are you standing around there for? We've got work to do." Alex glanced at Rose's father. In many ways, it reminded him of his own father, stern, uncaring, and void of any emotion. Rose shook Karen's hand. "My dad and I are leaving now. Miss Matthews, if I were you, I'd step up security so people like this don't just walk in and injure your customers. You have a reputation to think of." Rose and Mr. Brennan walked out the door. Karen was embarrassed and stood in the doorway to watch them go. Annoyed, she turned around to deal with Alex, but he was gone. She looked all around, but couldn't see him anywhere. But just as she walked back into the bank's central area, she saw Alex heading towards the VIP lounge, reserved only for their elite customers. She ran towards him shouting, "Hey, you, stop!" The customer stared as she ran after Alex, but it was too late. He had walked inside the VIP lounge and closed the door behind him. Inside the VIP lounge, Alex quickly locked the door, out of breath. He didn't want anyone walking in and interrupting while he tried to figure this out. Robert Miller, the bank manager, was startled to see Alex barge in. Robert put on a big, fake smile, about to launch into his usual greeting spiel, but stopped when he got a proper look at Alex. As the customer manager, Robert was responsible for 31 VIP clients and knew them all on sight. This guy definitely wasn't one of them. He looked barely 20 years old and dressed as if he was broke. "Can I help you?" Robert asked, slowly moving toward the desk where the security alert button was. Alex got straight to the point. "I need some money. My money. I don't have one of your fancy cards or anything, but I'm sure I have an account here. My dad said I did." Robert stopped. He realized this perhaps wasn't a robbery, just a confused young man. Access to this lounge was only for account holders with a minimum balance of £50 million. There was no way anyone wearing shoes with holes in had anywhere near that much money. Robert gestured toward the exit door. "I'm sorry, sir. If you don't have a card, then you don't have an account. Do you require anything else before you go?" Alex spotted a fingerprint scanner on the main desk. He pointed at it. "Maybe it's on there. My family set this up for me ages ago. I never needed a card until now. It was all locked away. Can I scan my fingerprint?" The fingerprint system at the bank was only for the wealthiest families and businesses. Very few people had their fingerprints recorded in the system. Robert was even more confused now. Robert moved to the desk, seeing no harm either way. "Very well, sir, if you truly believe it would work." Robert opened the lid and pointed to the small fingerprint scanner. Alex placed his thumb on it, his heart beating fast. The device lit up and buzzed harshly, a red light glowing. Robert nodded. Just as he thought. "Rejected, I'm afraid. Now, unfortunately, I'll have to ask you to leave. I have appointments waiting." Alex was concerned now. What if his family had tricked him? He didn't trust any of them, apart from Mark, the loyal family butler. But he had to try one more time. Wait, maybe it's not the thumb. Maybe it's my index finger. Robert's face darkened with anger. "Look, I've been very patient with you, but how much longer must we continue this charade? What happens when your index finger doesn't work? Middle finger, pinky, what then? Your toes?" Robert picked up the phone to call for security. Alex was stumped. Why would his father send him here if there was no account set up for him? Maybe this was what Mark had warned him about. Could his own father have set him up to be arrested, so he could swindle him out of his money? Had Alex fallen into his trap already? Was his rich life over before it had even started? He had to try the fingerprint scanner one last time, to see if he was in the bank's files. He leapt forward, and before the manager could protest, shoved his index finger onto the scanner. Alex tensed up, waiting for the buzzer and red light. Instead, there was a gentle beep, and the screen lit up with a calming green light. Both Alex and Robert stared at the screen, almost as surprised as each other. It displayed Alex's account details. Robert quickly recovered, and forced a smile. "Mr. Ambrose, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize who you were. Your family holds one of our oldest accounts. I didn't even think they'd have fingerprint recognition set up." Alex was relieved. "It's fine. Can I see how much money I've got in my account, and is it just accessible by me?" Robert typed at the computer quickly, searching for the information. This was a sealed trust fund account. Nobody was able to access it until today. Only you have control of it. This is completely separate to your family accounts. The balance is currently £86,427,932.43. Alex sat down, in shock. "That's a lot of money. I've never been rich before. I've had to live like this for so long. 86 million. That's not all. You have many other assets too. We have security vaults in all of our branches. You have items in several of them." "Items? What items?" Robert typed quickly, bring up the information. "In our branch in The Hague, a limited edition Bugatti Veyron sports car, with an exposed carbon fiber and aluminium finish, one of only 5 ever made. Our Cape Town branch has 10 crates of Krugerrand gold coins, and 15 10-carat diamonds. And our French branch in Paris has 3 original Picasso paintings, 2 Rodin statues, a pearl bracelet, and 4 stacks of gold bars." Alex muttered in disbelief. "And a partridge in a pear tree?" Robert looked at the screen, confused. "I'm not seeing anything of that description." "I'm just joking. Well, I need to get some lunch soon, so I suppose I'd better get one of those special cards you've all been talking about. My current account is running on fumes." Robert blinked. "You want one of our black cards with no limit, to pay for a Tesco meal deal sandwich?" Alex smiled, feeling slightly more in control of things now. "Well, they don't accept limited edition sports cars, so yes, please. I'll see to it immediately. Please wait a moment." Robert handed it to Alex, who carelessly threw it into his shirt pocket and headed for the door. "Thanks, I'll let you get on." Robert quickly tapped at the keyboard. "Hold on, Mr. Ambrose, I'll walk you out. Just let me exit the system." Alex waved him off. "That's okay, no need. Cheers." Out in the hall, Karen was anxiously waiting outside the locked door. Just then, the door unlocked, and Alex came strolling out. Karen grabbed him with her free hand. "Stop! I've called the police. You need to stay here while we find out what you've stolen." Alex tried to shake her off, but her grip was surprisingly strong. Karen spotted the black card in his shirt pocket and grabbed it quickly. "Aha! Didn't have a card. So you thought you'd just waltz in here and steal one, did you? Let's see what the police have to say about that." Several other customers came over, hearing the commotion. Some of them helped Karen to keep hold of Alex and stop him running. Finally, Robert came out of the VIP lounge to escort Alex out. Karen kept a firm grip on Alex's shirt and waved the black card in the air, triumphantly. "Mr. Miller, look, he stole a black card. If he'd got away with it, who knows how much money he could have stolen." Robert snapped at Karen. "Let go of Mr. Ambrose. He's one of our most valued customers. Give me that." He grabbed the black card out of her hand and carefully handed it back to Alex. "I'm so sorry about that, sir. Some of the staff clearly need more training." Karen was shocked. He had never spoken to her like that before, or to anyone. Alex slipped the card back into his pocket. "It's okay. It's not your fault." Robert was grateful. "That's very kind of you to say, sir." "Karen, apologize to Mr. Ambrose immediately." Karen bowed her head, terrified. "I'm sorry, Mr. Ambrose. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. It was wrong of me." Alex could have got her in a lot of trouble, but he just wasn't like that. She didn't seem like a bad person. She just misjudged him. He would have to get used to that happening from now on. He smiled and waved a hand. "Don't worry about it. She was just doing her job. Can't be too careful these days. And hey, if I'd really been a thief, she'd have saved you from being robbed." Karen was startled. Most of their customers were quite arrogant and never failed to take the opportunity to belittle the staff. This was very unexpected. She nodded at him. "Thank you. That's very understanding." Outside the bank, Alex started to head back to the tube, but stopped. He smiled to himself. "I think I can probably afford to take a taxi this time. I can buy a fleet of taxis if I feel like it." As the taxi drove him back to the university, Alex considered his next move. He didn't want everyone to treat him differently. He wanted them to like him for who he was, not for his money. Meanwhile, in an expensive penthouse office in the city, Nicholas Ambrose received a text message. He made a phone call. "It's me," he said. "Alexander has accessed his account. It's time to begin phase 1 of the operation. Let's see how he handles it. He has no idea what's coming for him." What lies in store for Alex? Why was his own father sabotaging him? Alex's life had completely changed within minutes. With all of his assets, he was one of the wealthiest people in the city, and certainly way more wealthy than Kathy, Billy, or even Rose and her family, the Brennans. He decided to directly go to the annual gala at college, where Rose's dad was going to give the commencement speech. He reached the venue and stood in the back of the auditorium quietly. As Kathy walked by, Alex noticed that she was trying not to be noticed by him. What was worse was that she was holding the hand of her ex-boyfriend, Billy. "Hey Alex, isn't that your girlfriend over there? Wonder what she's going to do with Billy tonight?" one of the mean students asked mockingly. "You? He's not my boyfriend anymore, idiot." Then she turned to Billy. "Come on, let's go." Kathy pinched Billy's butt and walked away with him. Alex was hurt but ignored Kathy's rudeness. Today there were other things on his mind. Compared to all of the gala's guest speakers of the past, Mr. Brennan was by far the richest and most prestigious speaker Oxford has ever had. Even for the students and parents without charity in their hearts, the chance to see Daniel Brennan, a titan of science, technology, and banking, was an event not to be missed. That's when Rose spotted Alex and started to humiliate him once again. "Ah, Mr. Alex the homeless beggar. You're so unbelievable you know that you're homeless and dressed in tattered clothes, but you still decided to attend this event. Oh wait, I know why. You wanted to see the luxury and power that my dad has. But let me tell you this, Alex, don't you dare go anywhere near my father. He's too rich and important to be anywhere near a stinking homeless broke loser like you. No." Alex looked at Rose and smiled gently. The packed house was electric as Mr. Brennan walked to the stage. He waved to the crowd as they gave him a standing ovation. All the major newspapers brought their top reporters to cover the commencement speech, and it was being broadcast live on the news. "You know what, Rose?" Alex turned to Rose and spoke calmly. "I have some unfinished business with the Brennans." Rose chuckled. "Oh yeah, And what are you gonna do about it? You can't do shit to me, Alex. Who said anything about you? Said Alex, as he fixed his eyes on Daniel Brennan and started walking straight towards the stage. Rose realized what Alex meant and freaked out, assuming that Alex was probably going to try and create a scene on live TV and try and ruin her father. What she didn't know was that Alex was not just a nobody. He was more powerful and rich than even Daniel Brennan himself. Alex cut through the crowd and the news cameras and started climbing the steps to the stage. Then, to the shock of everyone, he walked straight to Mr. Brennan as Rose, the crowd, and the reporters looked on in shock and anticipation. Mr. Brennan turned pale as a ghost upon seeing Alex walk towards him. There was an instant recognition. Brennan's security guards started running towards Alex, but they were immediately stopped by Brennan with a quick hand up. Then he gulped and spoke in a weak, trembling voice. "Mr. Alexander Ambrose, what can I do for you?" Rose and her rich friends, in fact everybody in the college, couldn't believe what they were seeing. Then, Mr. Brennan leaned over and kissed Alex's ring like he was royalty. All in front of the entire school and everyone watching all over the world. How did the rich and powerful CEO recognize Alex?
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.